A constitution is a foundational legal document that establishes the framework for governance within a state. It sets out principles, structures, and powers of government institutions, while also defining the rights and responsibilities of citizens. The Constitution serves as the highest legal authority within a political system, guiding the operations of government and ensuring that laws and policies remain consistent with its fundamental principles. Without a constitution, a government would lack clear guidelines on its authority and limitations, which could lead to arbitrary rule or instability. One of the primary functions of a constitution is to distribute power among different branches of government. Most modern constitutions create a system of separation of powers, typically dividing governmental authority among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. This division helps to prevent any single entity from becoming too powerful. By establishing checks and balances, the Constitution ensures that each branch can limit the powers of the others, reducing the risk of authoritarian rule. For instance, a legislative body may be responsible for creating laws, the executive branch for enforcing them, and the judiciary for interpreting them. This structure maintains order and accountability within the state. Another key function of a constitution is to define the rights and freedoms of individuals. Many constitutions include a Bill of Rights or similar provisions that protect civil liberties such as freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. These rights are intended to safeguard citizens from government overreach and guarantee personal freedoms. Additionally, constitutions often include mechanisms for addressing grievances, such as courts or human rights commissions, to ensure that individuals have a way to challenge violations to their rights. Without these legal guarantees, governments could operate without constraints, potentially infringing on individual freedoms. The Constitution also establishes the procedures by which government officials are elected or appointed, as well as the rules governing their conduct while in office. By defining the electoral process, constitutions ensure that political leadership is determined through fair and transparent means. They may outline the requirements for candidacy, the frequency of elections, and the responsibilities of elected officials. These provisions contribute to political stability by providing a clear framework for leadership transitions and preventing arbitrary changes in governance. Furthermore, constitutions often contain provisions for amending or revising their content. This flexibility allows legal systems to adapt to changing circumstances, whether due to shifts in societal values, technological advancements, or political developments. However, constitutional amendments typically require a rigorous process to ensure that the changes reflect the will of the people, rather than the interests of a small group. In democratic systems, this may involve approval by a legislative body, a referendum, or both. This structured approach to amendments helps maintain continuity while allowing for necessary reforms. The role of a constitution is not limited to establishing government structures and individual rights. It also serves as a symbol of national identity and unity. By articulating shared values and aspirations, a constitution can foster a sense of belonging among citizens. In some cases, a preamble or introductory statement expresses the core principles upon which the nation is built, such as justice, equality, and democracy. This unifying function is especially important in diverse societies, where a constitution can help bridge differences and promote a sense of collective purpose. Constitutions can take different forms depending on the historical and political context of a country. Some nations have written constitutions which are formally documented and codified in a single text. Examples include the United States Constitution or the Indian Constitution, both of which serve as a comprehensive legal framework for governance. Other nations operate under an unwritten constitution, which consists of legal traditions, statutes, and judicial decisions that collectively shape government operations. The United Kingdom is an example of a country with an unwritten constitution, where legal principles have developed over centuries through statutes, common law, and conventions. The effectiveness of a constitution depends on its implementation and the willingness of government officials and citizens to uphold its principles. A well-designed constitution may still be undermined if those in power choose to ignore its provisions or manipulate legal interpretations for their own benefit. To maintain constitutional integrity, many systems include judicial review, allowing courts to assess whether government actions comply with constitutional principles. In some cases, constitutional courts or Supreme Courts have the authority to strike down laws or executive actions that violate constitutional provisions, reinforcing the rule of law. Despite their fundamental role in governance, constitutions are not immune to challenges. Political crises, social movements, and economic pressures can test the resilience of constitutional systems. In some instances, governments may attempt to amend or bypass constitutional provisions to consolidate power or suppress dissent. Conversely, constitutional frameworks may also provide the foundation for peaceful democratic transitions and societal progress. The ability of a constitution to withstand these challenges often depends on the strength of democratic institutions, the independence of the judiciary, and the engagement of civil society in upholding legal principles. A constitution is the cornerstone of a nation's legal and political order. It defines the structure of government, safeguards individual rights, establishes electoral procedures, and provides mechanisms for legal change. By serving as both a legal framework and a symbol of national unity, a constitution plays a critical role in maintaining stability and guiding the development of society. However, its effectiveness relies on adherence to its principles and the active participation of citizens and institutions in upholding its provisions. In an ever-changing world, the adaptability and integrity of a constitution remain essential to the functioning of just and stable governance.